Good morning and welcome to the 2020-21 school year. You are courageously volunteering to teach during a time that is unlike any school year in our history. You will need to make extra effort to address your students' social and emotional needs as well as your own. The Teaching and Learning Department created the slides, and I have added our department-specific information to prepare you for teaching virtually. Our entire department is here to help and support you. We want all teachers to prepare for the virtual start of the school year. This session presents an overview of district guidance, resources, and tools that support teachers in planning, designing, and the delivery of instruction heading into the 2020-21 school year. We're going to include the following topics: updated organizational structure, updates to the curriculum frameworks and resources, virtual learning guidance and supports, pre-K through 12, first 6 weeks of virtual instruction supports, sample video lessons, the video lesson matrix, the Fort Worth ISD instructional framework, and the Fort Worth ISD literacy framework, biliteracy framework, disciplinary literacy framework, social emotional learning, and last but not least, the art handbook. The Visual Arts Department promotes and supports a comprehensive, balanced, and sequential art education program for students grades K through 12 to enrich social and emotional growth and develop high levels of success in the fine arts and other academic disciplines. The visual arts curriculum provides instruction in the Texas essential knowledge and skills identified for fine arts by the State Board of Education. The Visual Arts Department supports art teachers, students, and schools by providing professional development, facilitating art exhibits, competitions, and community art collaborations, recognizing opportunities on the local, state, and national levels, and personal exposure to the fine arts through field trips to local museums. In the art department, we have myself, Tiffany Fromm. I'm the Director of Visual Arts. Teresa Smith is our Administrative Associate. Wendy McCoy is our Art Specialist. And Ashley King is our Art Curator. The most current curriculum is available on the Visual Arts Department shared drive in the Art Curriculum 2020 folder. Some of the courses are a work in progress, but it is your best resource for the current curriculum. You can add your demonstrations of learning, so art project, photos throughout the year, or resources you would like to share. The curriculum on Fort Worth ISD curriculum is old and will be updated in the near future. I've included here how to get to the Fort Worth ISD website for that curriculum. The virtual instruction guidance and support documents are guidance that principals will use to implement plans for virtual instruction at their respective campuses. They are organized in sections that mirror what the district will need to attest to TEA as part of an asynchronous remote learning model. So what you're going to do is you are going to go to your document that is for your level, and you're going to look for the following things, because you need to know synchronous versus asynchronous, attestation sections, so that's the evidence of engagement and learning, minutes per grade level, implementation of Fort Worth ISD curriculum and resources, Google Sites and classroom expectations, communication with parents, and progress measures. So I'd like you to pause the video and go over the documents for your level. While the district will attest to TEA based on an asynchronous instructional model, synchronous interactions will be critical to serving and supporting the academic and social emotional needs of all students. Given the pronounced role these terms will have in our daily conversations around virtual instruction this year, it's important that we as instructional leaders take a moment to anchor a working understanding and common definitions, and further deepen our understanding of how both delivery modes operate in tandem to serve students. Asynchronous instruction provides students with teacher-assigned lessons, tasks, or assignments. Students will then work on their own pace. All assignments, content, files, and discussions are available on digital platforms, accessible on a mobile device, laptop, or desktop computer. All participants are not required to be virtually present at the same time, but does require daily engagement by all students. All pre-assigned work and resources are available to students through Seesaw for pre-K or Google Classroom for K through 12. Participants are not required to be virtually present at the same time, but daily engagements by students is required. Pre-recorded videos are the primary delivery method of direct instruction from the teacher. Periodic synchronous instruction activities guide, support, and extend student learning of asynchronous lessons. Synchronous instruction provides live, real-time teaching with two-way teacher-student interaction. Supports asynchronous lessons by providing lesson guidance, supplemental instruction, or enrichment. Examples include guided practice, intervention, small group support, differentiated practice, specific feedback on assignments, progress checks, lesson closure, and additional social and emotional learning. Teachers will provide live instruction, support, and guidance at scheduled, predictable, and posted office hours. Students are required to engage at specific scheduled times via video conference. In art, a teacher designs and facilitates a multiple day lesson that requires students to complete an art project. She uses an asynchronous video lesson to provide instruction and mini lectures that establish background knowledge and demonstrates technique. Students are then assigned the asynchronous task of creating the art project. The teacher then uses scheduled synchronous learning time with small groups of students to assess progress and understanding of the project. The teacher's next asynchronous video lesson introduces a working artist and gives more demonstrations of technique. The video concludes with her assigning the asynchronous task of completing the art project. The teacher then facilitates synchronous learning time to reteach and provide individualized instruction in a small group setting. Now, this is just an example of what you do, not an outline of what you have to do as an art teacher. Whether in the virtual learning environment or the in-person setting, our charge is to provide each student with high-quality instruction that is culturally responsive, linguistically accommodating, addresses social and emotional need, and promotes academic progress. During the first 6 weeks, your role is to use the Fort Worth ISD curriculum resources, make accommodations for limited access to art media, plan, design, and deliver daily instruction to your students. The Teaching and Learning Department has created guidance and supports that cover the first 6 weeks of instruction. These supports are intended as a model or sample of what quality asynchronous instruction can look like using Fort Worth ISD curriculum and resources. You may use the samples directly with your students. There is no district mandate for how the sample video lessons and accompanying guidance and support documents are used. You can adapt the samples or choose to create your lessons entirely on your own. Just follow the curriculum and TEKS. So why did we create all these documents? We want to provide additional support for teachers to deliver effective, engaging, virtual instruction while utilizing unit guides and district resources. The first document we created was the guidance and support document. You'll find links in here that will connect you to the model video lesson, and you'll also be able to find the video lesson matrix. To access these documents, you're going to go to the Fort Worth ISD online curriculum, and you can access that through ClassLink. There is a link on the Employee Link Hub, but it is not working. You do have to access it through ClassLink. You're going to go to the Visual Arts department, and you can either choose K through 5 art, middle school art 1, 2, 3, high school art 1, 2, 3, 4, or pre-AP, or advanced placement. Where I have those arrows is where you can find these support documents. Following the middle school link, you're going to see virtual instruction guidance and support. And when you click on that, you are going to get to the virtual instruction guidance and support document. And you can see that it is divided by weeks, not by day. That is to allow for flexibility so that you don't have to do prescribed things on prescribed days. It's up to you how you kind of want to arrange this. There's also a section for the topics and the TEKS and the lesson content, as well as examples of student progress measures. Most of those are going to look like art projects in the art room. Now, if you can see where that arrow is, it's pointing to one of the lessons, and that, if you click on that, it will connect you to the video matrix or the model video lesson. And so once you're in there, where that red arrow there connects you to is YouTube links for those lessons. And we all have Fort Worth ISD Google accounts for YouTube, and that's where we'd like you to put your videos. And you can access that through your Google homepage from your teacher account on Google. The video lesson matrix alignment document is aligned to the lesson structure of the instructional framework. It is a guide for teachers to create video lessons that follow that structure. This document is for pre-K through 12 teachers. Using the 3 documents and information given during this portion of the presentation, I'd like you to answer the following questions. So go ahead and stop the video and take some time to answer those. All right, so for number 1, how do teachers access the virtual instruction supports? They do that by clicking on the virtual instruction sample video lessons link on the scope and sequence, or for us from the Fort Worth ISD curriculum. What documents provide context for the sample lesson? That would be the model video lesson document. Where can teachers find the sample video lessons? There is a link on the first 6 weeks virtual instruction guidance and support document. And what are the different types of videos that teachers may design? Well, you can demonstrate and try, watch and listen, respond, create something, or mix and match. So for number 5, it asks you to list 3 resources that teachers may use to plan and design daily virtual instruction. You could put unit guides, curriculum resources, first 6 weeks, guidance and supports, model video lesson documents, and the video lesson matrix. So how do teachers access the actual video lessons? By navigating the model video lesson documents and clicking on the YouTube link. All right, so to get there, you are going to start on ClassLink, and you're going to click on Fort Worth ISD online curriculum. On the left, you can find visual and performing arts. And if you scroll down, you'll see art, and that's for elementary, middle school art, and then also high school art is down here. There's a spot for advanced placement and Art 1 through the higher levels. So if we're following middle school, we're going to click there. And at the bottom, you see the virtual instruction guide and support. When you click on that, it takes you to our document. And this is going to give you an overview of the first 6 weeks. So if I scroll down, I'm going to find weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, if I want to get to those individual videos, I'm going to go to these links. And here is one of those example videos. So take some time to go through the virtual guidance and support documents for your level. Pause the video and come back when you're finished. As a companion to the first 6 weeks, curriculum supports targeted professional learning opportunities around virtual instruction are available to teachers. Principals have provided teachers with a list of virtual instruction professional learning opportunities made available through the district's EdTech department. Sessions explore best practices, instructional delivery with Google Classroom and Google Meet, student interaction, assignments, feedback, student data privacy, instructional video creation, and parent and student communication. All the professional learning is offered at self-paced e-courses. Walkthrough, you can follow these links to walk through the different technology training that is available. There is a total of 12 required hours of virtual instruction training. With that being said, there will be a number of teachers that have already met this training expectation. Some teachers could have taken these courses earlier this summer. Some could have taken these courses the past couple of weeks, and others may be expected to maybe experienced virtual instructors who have already mastered these topics. Teachers who have already completed these sessions are not required to repeat any of this coursework. It's been asked of principals that this time be given back to teachers in these situations to prepare for their virtual instruction environments. Our charge per our Board of Trustees equity policy, regardless of learning environment, is to provide every student with equitable access to high-quality, culturally and personally relevant instruction, curricula, support, facilities, and other educational resources, even when this means differentiating resources to accommodate this goal. This vision starts with high-quality Tier 1 instruction that is culturally responsive and linguistically accommodating, and meets the needs of all students. Empowering our culturally and linguistically diverse students starts with growing each student from a dependent learner to independent learner as the primary goal of instruction. According to Hammond, more culturally and linguistically diverse students are dependent learners who don't get adequate support to facilitate their cognitive growth. This stems from low-level instructional practices, typically informed by lower intellectual expectations. Example would be postponing more challenging work until students master the basics. The results being we deprive students of a meaningful or motivating context for learning and practicing higher order thinking practices. By contrast, independent learners rely on the teacher for some, but not all, of the cognitive load that reliance is temporary. An independent learner utilizes strategies and processes by tackling a new task, regularly attempting new tasks with scaffolds, has cognitive strategies for getting unstuck, and has learned to retrieve information from long-term memory. Growing students into independent learners, writers, thinkers, and doers is the standard by which we seek to continuously improve Tier 1 instruction. The next slide provides a sneak peek into frameworks that will guide and support this work. Teachers will explore these documents in greater depth with their principals and campus colleagues. The Fort Worth ISD instructional framework provides direction for consistent planning and the use of research-based teaching practices to ensure student achievement. The framework seeks to create an optimal learning environment in which we create emotionally, intellectually, and physically safe environments driven by racially equitable outcomes. Instruction is culturally responsive, linguistically accommodating, based on standard-aligned curricula and instruction that meets the diverse needs of every learner. The instructional framework has two components: the instructional framework narrative and descriptors, and the lesson structure document. The two documents should not be viewed as mutually exclusive. They have a symbiotic relationship. Fort Worth ISD instructional framework can be viewed at macro level, where the lesson structure is its macro level companion. It lives to inform lesson design and daily instructional delivery that is aligned to the framework. For today's purposes, you are just previewing the documents, getting your feet wet before you dig deeper into the instructional framework with your principals this week and throughout the year. Go ahead and pause the video so that you can preview that instructional framework and lesson structure. The Fort Worth ISD Biliteracy Framework is also comprised of 6 guiding principles, the 3 big shifts, and the fundamental 4. Take some time to read the guiding principles and 3 big shifts. The fundamental 4 are exactly the same as those listed on the literacy framework. Keep in mind that we have had various models implemented throughout the district. It is imperative that we provide an effective dual language program that follows one biliteracy model. Starting this school year, we will have one 80-20 dual language model. The biggest change will be in pre-K as we start teaching initial literacy in both English and Spanish. Biliteracy will be graduated beginning with 80-20 in pre-K. We will be phasing out Gomez and Gomez narrative language literacy model and starting a simultaneous biliteracy model in pre-K and increasing 1 grade level at a time each year. We will use resources from TEA, Teaching for Binary by Cheryl Uro, and the guiding principles of dual language from the Center for Applied Linguistics. Gomez and Gomez does utilize some research-based practices that we'll keep using, such as bilingual pairs and cooperative learning. We want to honor the work that has been done and align the work with the most current research in developing biliteracy to all students. Additionally, we will use Sidelets to help us provide professional learning to make content comprehensible in both languages. We will also use QTEL to help bridge dual language to ESL. QTEL is primarily used in ESL elementary classrooms as well as all of secondary schools with newcomers. We hope to expand this to reach all teachers of ELs at secondary. We will explain everything to administrators and teachers in our Dual Language Academy PD. You will spend a little more time on the biliteracy framework in another presentation with your principal. Just remember that the biliteracy framework provides guidance for the implementation of dual language education and is grounded in dual language and biliteracy research, the TEA implementation guidance for DL, and guiding principles for DL. All grade levels and content will be leaning into disciplinary literacy. Our purpose for looking at disciplinary literacy framework today is to preview it before you dig deeper into the literacy, biliteracy, and disciplinary literacy frameworks with your principals. The disciplinary literacy framework familiarizes students with the unique ways in which each subject requires them to read, write, and think, emphasizes the unique tools that the experts use to participate in the work of the discipline, promotes use of discipline area text to create, disseminate, and evaluate knowledge, and develops ability to access, apply, and communicate knowledge as a scholar practitioner. I'm going to explain the why behind disciplinary literacy frameworks. The ability to critically read, write, and think at the highest level is fundamental to every student's right to learn. It is a moral duty to ensure every student, and in particular our Black and Brown students, have uncompromised access to literacy instruction that prepares them as to judge what the world is and what is greater minds though it may be. Which is a quote from Webb Du Bois. It's not enough for students to leave us remembering memorized materials. They must be more than borrowers of knowledge. They must participate in knowledge construction, in the construction of culture, in the construction of systems, agents of innovation and change. This means students must be prepared to be owners and creators of knowledge. To get there, our students need literacy instruction that provides learning experiences that are transformative, where they can move from being dependent learners and grow into independent thinkers with knowledge, skills, and dispositions to become social critics. Disciplinary literacy targets those high-order reading, writing, and thinking skills which students need to be college and career ready and citizens who are social critics. It is the role of the teacher to be a model reader, writer, and thinker of their discipline. You must instruct with a passion for the subject matter while unlocking the hidden ways the discipline creates questions and debates knowledge and how those habits of thinking and doing transfer to decision-making in everyday life. Pause the video so that you can take a look at the disciplinary literacy instructional framework. Remember that you're going to dig deeper into this with your principals. Social and emotional learning, SEL, is the process through which children and adults understand and manage emotions, sets and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. We must attend to social and emotional needs that arise during times like these. SEL offers a powerful means to explore and express our emotions, build relationship, and support each other. Children and adults alike. Social and emotional learning, SEL, teaches us to understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. We hope to intentionally cultivate a caring, participatory, and equitable learning environment. To do this, we must actively involve all students and adults in social and emotional learning to promote academic growth. We want to infuse SEL opportunities into every part of the day across all classrooms during all times of the school day. If we do this work together, we develop a learning community that thrives. Research guides us that trauma-informed practices like TBRI help meet basic needs of those around us and build a sense of felt safety. When we feel safe, we trust and we build relationships. We need SEL skills to build meaningful relationships. Restorative practices and circles especially offer a powerful means to practice these skills and build a powerful sense of community. We must all be social and emotional competent in order to add brave conversations about race and equity within our classrooms and in the school community. Together we can lead our system to evaluate the worth and dignity of every student. Let's build a more equitable school system. Student Support Services, in collaboration with Teaching and Learning and Equity and Excellence, has developed social and emotional learning and supports for the first 6 weeks of school, accessible on the Fort Worth ISD online curriculum page. Teachers can also access the calendars through their first 6 weeks instructional guidance and supports document. These are linked in each grade level content-specific scope and sequence document. We have included tips and strategies for regular teacher check-ins, as well as prompts to support the intentional building of relationships as we start the year virtually. You will also find simple, fun lessons and activities that members of the student support team can help facilitate to strengthen the core social and emotional skills of our students. The Fort Worth ISD pre-K virtual instructional guidance and support documents are one of the supports that are offered through the teaching and learning departments. They also are offering the sample video lessons, the video lesson matrix, and virtual instruction professional learning opportunities. From the visual arts department, we have provided new curriculum that was written during the spring and summer of 2020. Virtual lessons, videos, Google Slides, and example demonstrations of learning are available to you. The 2020 curriculum will be added to the Fort Worth ISD curriculum frameworks in the near future. Wendy McCoy is also available to provide instructional coaching if you are struggling in the in-person or virtual classroom. The 2020-21 Art Handbook is now available on the shared drive and with the provided link. This is a living document that will be updated throughout the year as information is made available. Because it's a Google Doc, you'll be able to click on the title page and it'll bring you right to that spot in the document. And so it was actually pretty fun to put together in that you can move around that art handbook a lot easier than we have in the past. We do not have time to walk through the handbook today, but please do so before September 18th and complete the form on the last page. You will want to take time to read every page. There's a lot of changes, but I wanted to point out the main ones because of COVID this year. All of our art shows will be virtual. The required art shows have changed. Some of the shows that we have previously participated in have been canceled for this year. Elementary art teachers will go into each classroom to teach art to reduce the spread of germs from multiple students using the art room. Supplies to create individual art kits will be provided at the elementary level. And all art teachers will receive a small budget from the visual arts department. You can follow the Visual and Performing Arts department through social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with those links. And I'm going to be waiting for you on the Google Meet that we started in. And so I've included the code. So please join me there again and I can answer your questions. Have a wonderful school year, and we are here to support you.